Voila! To the Amanda Natanda show. I'm Amanda and thank you guys for watching. I am so super excited about today's episode because you already know all my guests, not all actually, most of my guests are female, right? And and it always excites me when I get a male guest. I was like, today I got what do you call it? A bouncer?
Yeah, something like that. Something
right?
Like that.
A bouncer.
But
then a Canadian, what do they call it? Is it security? Or it's a bouncer. It's a bouncer. It's a bouncer. Okay,
yeah.
So today, guys, I have a bouncer. I got security. So,
I should be a security guard.
Are you serious?
A bouncer. Yeah, I was a bouncer for a while in Toronto. I was a student.
Yeah,
I was even in Vegreville like 2 years ago.
Okay.
I was a bouncer there at the bar when I first moved there. Yeah.
Joining me today is an author of the Year of
the Underdog.
The Underdog.
The Year of the Underdog, positioning yourself for goal achievement. That's the subtitle.
Hey. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. The Year of the Underdog, positioning yourself
for goal achievement.
For goal achievement.
Yeah. Getting ready. That stands when you're ready to go take on the world.
Oh my gosh. Okay, right. So guys, you can imagine today's episode is gonna be fun. It's gonna be interesting. So help me welcome Vusa, Mabaleka.
Yeah, thank you.
Vusa.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I'm so excited to be having you here today. Finally.
Yeah,
and I remember
excited.
the first time I met you at Andrew's event was it when we were
Smoothie Basics.
Exactly, when we were motivational speakers. And then you're like, I've been looking for you. I was like, what do I do now?
I'm like, I sent you a message. I was told about you. My cousin told me I need to, get on your show. And you're like, I didn't see any message.
Well, I am always busy. I think you've noticed even after.
Yeah, I noticed.
Right? Yeah, exactly.
Because at first I was feeling shunned. I'm like, she doesn't want to invite me.
Okay, now here you are, sir.
Here you are, sir,
and welcome to the show. Congratulations on the launch and release of your book, Year of the Underdog. Oh my God. It was an easy read. It was an easy read, and it was amazing. It was phenomenal. You know what? People need to read it.
Exactly. Another thing. Can I add something? Like in this day of social media, a lot of people are so they have so many things going on. Nobody has time to sit and read like a book this thick. You know what I mean? So I figured if it's a quick read, people will just look at it. Some people like fast readers. Half an hour it could be done.
That's true.
Yeah.
It's
like me. Exactly. It's that easy. You just read, you digest, and you're like, oh, okay,
Yeah, because even when I started reading it, at first I was like, okay, I want to first look for the topics that I'm interested in. Because everybody's motivating. Everybody has a book now, right?
Yeah, exactly.
I was like, I want to find a topic that I want to I want to first read and see if I am going to like the book. Yeah. So for me, I saw myself going on and on and on. I was like, okay, you may as well just read all of it. Just go to the start, right? That's how interesting it is.
Oh,
so congratulations to that, and you did a good job.
Oh, thank you.
So before we get into the book of the Year of the Underdog, do you mind telling the viewers who Vusa is in a nutshell?
Okay, I'll first, because I'm a proud father of 2 kids. So I'm a father, like 2 kids, a boy and a girl, Gwyneth and Grayson.
Oh,
they're my
nice.
life, and I'm from Zimbabwe.
Yeah.
I've been living. Canada's been my home for almost 20 years. So Zimbabwe and Canada, they're my 2 homes.
Right.
Yeah,
so are you? Can we proudly call you dual citizen?
Yeah.
Cool. Okay.
Yeah,
His name Canadian, guys. His
Yeah.
name Canadian.
Yeah.
But anyway, that is so great. So you are an accountant by profession.
Yes.
Let's start from there.
Yeah.
Now people prepare for this question now.
Yeah.
So you're an accountant by profession.
Yeah.
What made you write this type of book? Right? Especially instead of writing a book with balance sheets. You know what I mean?
Yeah, this type of book.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good question, and I'll tell you why. I've heard this saying that some people wait for like a tragedy or something to happen in their lives to transform their lives. And for me, what happened was after I got divorced, I had to look at how my life is moving forward. How can I live my life? How my life is gonna be, right? Because nobody gets married to get divorced. So then though I started writing this book while I was married. But I already like interested in writing books. It's something I was already. But after I got divorced, the book took a different turn. But I was already into writing and accounting. Like I was saying in the story before, right? Sometimes that's why this book is necessary. Like people need to do what they love, find their purpose. We all have to pay our bills, but if you choose something you don't really like, you might make the money, or you might not make the money because you don't have the motivation to move to that to get the promotion because you just don't care for it.
Okay. So what got you into accounting then?
Yeah, like an ex-girlfriend had a brother with the cottage up north, and the guy, we used to go, fishing in the morning, have breakfast by the river, and I'm like, she's like, do you want to live this kind of lifestyle? Maybe you should be an accountant. I was like, yeah, no questions. Like, that's the thing. Next thing, I enrolled to George Brown College in Toronto, did a 3-year program in accounting.
Yeah.
After that, I also did 4 years in London, Ontario, Western University. So that's 7 years of my life, money and time, student debt, all that, just to get the money. After I started working in accounting, I was like, this isn't really what I expected. And I'm sure the the supervisor, they could see that this guy, people, you can tell your eyes, you see with you, right? With your business, you just, your energy is there, like you really enjoy what you're doing, it draws people in. But if you're just sitting there looking at an Excel spreadsheet, you're not gonna get anywhere,
Yeah. So in other words, you already had the knowledge of, or maybe the love of numbers, because you can't just do accounting without the love of numbers.
I enjoy numbers. Yeah,
okay.
That's true. Yeah.
And then you just decided, okay, so let me just get into it because maybe I might make money out of this.
Yeah, that's
for the love of it.
Yeah, no, it
Oh
wasn't.
my gosh, how did you think? What happened? Like, why? Huh?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. Maybe I've always been a stubborn person because I've always wanted what I like. And when I hear people, I totally understand when a lot of people say, oh yeah, I did this because some people do it for their parents, or some people do it because culture says you have to be a profession and stuff like that. I totally get it. But for some reason, I always have it. I always have a question within me that says, but why could you not just pick for yourself what you loved, despite opposition?
Yeah, but at the time, when this was like maybe 21, I was looking for something that I loved, I wanted to do. I wanted to do marketing. I think it's something that I kind of had more interest in. So why didn't you go for marketing? I just, like talking to people, you also think about it because you have to pay your bills, think about, if in some of these things, like commission based and you kind of get scared, right? And now, which is why I eventually slowly I'm getting into the market. Like I enjoy marketing even up to now with my book. I just haven't had time, but I really want to market. So you went on to write in a boxer's point of view. Yeah. We were talking before you were about to blow out your secret. I was like, hey, hold up, I have it in my questions. Yeah. So you went on to write your book in a boxer's point of view type of format. Why is that? Well, I see, it's weird because me being a guy from, back home, everybody likes soccer, right? I tried soccer, and, we know sometimes God doesn't give you that talent. That's true. So a teacher who trained, my school before I went to Tegwan, a teacher who trained soccer was related to me. So he tried to kind of put me in the team. Yeah. And I still didn't make the cut. He called me on, he's like, you know what? I can help you. I was like, I can help you. Yeah, it's like, you just don't have it. Yeah. So I knew that some things take time. So after that, I really didn't like sports. Trying to run, right? My last name is Mabaleka, and some people maybe Shona Matiza, right? So when I went to Tegwana, right, people thought it means I run fast, and I was telling them, no, that's not a nickname, that's my real name. And we ran the 100 meters. The same way with my last name again. I got to exactly. Okay, I totally get it. Yeah, So people, I told them, and no, it's not like that. And they saw me running. I came second last, So so they, so for me, that's why I didn't like sports. But for some reason, boxing, I liked, the preparation, every sport you prepare, But I felt like life is like boxing, I know women usually don't like the brutal part of it, but Some do, but oh yeah, I see. Yeah,
I love
actually, I saw the glove. I was like, yeah, that's cool. Yeah, exactly, boxing, right? But I feel like the preparation.
Yeah.
And actually, in the book, I talk about it. They say before the ring, physical is like 95%.
Yeah.
But once you get in the ring,
Yeah.
it's like it flips. The mental. Now it's the mind.
Yeah.
That's why Mike Tyson would walk up there. He said, "I'll look at a guy, look in his eyes, and I know he's done."
I know.
Yeah, because you can.
And he knew
yeah.
it was a mental game. When I was reading your book, it's a mental game. And who was he fighting, by the way, who ended up just backing off?
Yeah, I can remember that.
Yeah, so I was like, wow. So that's how Mike Tyson probably became famous.
Yeah, even
because it's a mind game.
It's a mind. Even Muhammad Ali, I wrote in the book, he said, "I knew I was the greatest before I ever was." You know, so he had to, not knew, but he had to. His mind, he has to say, "I'm the greatest." I'm like, if he leaves room to be number 3, he's gonna be number 3. But if he, he has to leave room that I'm number 1. And people, the confidence you have, people can see. Confidence is energy too, right? Everything is energy. When you're 100% sure, because you've worked on yourself, your body, your spirit, everything, people can see it. And your opponent in the ring, they would back off. They would fall into place and you win. That's how the champions. But boxing is like life. Everything you do, you have a goal, you have a challenge. If you have doubts, if you don't prepare for it, you're gonna get that result. But if you know what I mean. So I started realizing that boxing is really, life is just like boxing. That's why I was like, I'm gonna structure the book like round 1, round 2, round, all those rounds. Yeah.
Wow, I love it. It's different.
Yeah.
So to all those talk show hosts in Edmonton, hola, take a seat because I'm number 1.
That's how I look at it. I'm like, you know what? Remember we're talking before the show?
I know.
I said, no, there's one thing I know for sure. You will be very big. You know why? Because you're consistent, you have the energy, you have the charisma, you have the people skills. Like, what else do you need, right?
What else do I need?
You have exactly all you need now is just wait your time, like grow your audience slowly.
Patience,
I think that's patience, you know what I mean?
Exactly. Everything happens in its own time.
Yeah.
I'm a firm believer of that.
Yeah, exactly.
So tell us why people should purchase your book other than just your efforts, seeing that everyone else is writing similar type of books. Right?
Well,
everybody's writing motivational books, so why should somebody invest their money in your book?
Well, I feel like my book, I talk about my own personal experiences as well. Yeah,
in every chapter.
Yeah, exactly. So I put my own personal experiences, and there's a lot more that that I didn't put there, but I'm willing to, like when I talk to people, if somebody purchases my book, and let's talk about something.
Yeah.
So I feel like I'm out there. Once you buy the book, you can call me.
Yeah.
We talk. Like we can, I can be more like we can tell each other problems and how we approach them. You know what I mean? There's a lot of people that tell me I'm going through this and how would you handle it? And I'd be like, it's like I feel like that's like something that God put in me where I can talk to people, and because I also go through a lot and I'm going through a lot. Like it's the life, everybody goes through stuff, right? But I've learned through like personal development, I've learned how to approach problems. Like I could have a serious problem in my way right now, and I would like this. My stress won't go more than like 50%. I'll be like, stress, okay, But I've learned, and it's enjoyable because I don't stress myself. I used to stress myself and get headaches, and I'm like, I don't like these headaches.
I know. Sometimes
like
it's not worth it.
It's not worth it.
Yeah.
So if I do stress myself, so I'm saying like people who read this book, I like the stuff that I wrote in the book, like we talked about boxing. I try to approach the book in a different way. I don't think I've read a book that approaches personal development like boxing, and I did, and that's like something I found that makes sense to me, and people will look at personal development.
Actually, because one thing I like even about your book is the fact that you, first of all, you wrote it in a boxing formatting type of way. That's one.
Yeah.
Number two, you point out a problem, and you put a solution, and then you give your personal experience in every chapter.
Yeah. Exactly.
And I was like, whoa, okay. I need to understand what was going through your mind for you to be that creative, because everybody has a regular chapter, talk about their story, but then yours, you broke it down in parts. Every chapter is broken down in parts.
Yeah, no, I just felt that, you have to be, in life, we don't want to be vulnerable. We don't want to tell people. There's a lot of people that I know, even I would think they're close to me, and they'll have something going on personal that I even know they're going through, but they'll feel maybe I'll judge them or look, I don't know, right? But for me, I think what the world needs is to show everybody, like we all go through stuff. There's no need to hide, right? You can talk to somebody, you know, tell people. That's why I opened up to the world. Like, this is what I went through. This is what, you know, we all go through stuff, and we feel better about it. And other people will see you that you are relatable. You know what I mean? If you pretend like nothing happens to you, like, we know that's not true. We all go through stuff.
That's true.
So yeah, I think it's one of those things. I just wanted to make it authentic, like to say, you know what, I'm putting my soul into this. This is what I went through, and this is how I handle this. And there's obviously a lot more stories I didn't include in the book, but we all go through challenges, you know. But I believe like that's how life is. Like, you know, we always think like we always try to run away from problems, but actually problems make us stronger. You know, like they're part of enjoying the life experience. You know, it can't be all good. You know what I mean? If you can accept the good, you should accept the bad. That's a fair game. You know, you can't say I just want everything to be good, but the bad no.
No, that's true.
It's
not real.
It's not real, yeah. Okay. So if you're okay with things going your way, you should be humbled when things don't go your way and see how we can move forward.
Right. Yeah. Oh no, that is so awesome.
Yeah.
So now let's get into the book. Now
Yeah.
we're gonna get into the book.
Yeah.
The Year of the Underdog, guys. This book, it is so relatable. Like, I am a woman. Well, yeah, because I love boxing, you know, it's okay. But I am just saying that it is relatable in any type of way, be it you love boxing or not. But then the more you read it, that's when you discover his type of writing, and the writing was so interesting and fun. So obviously I have my notes. When I was reading, I was like, oh, I'm gonna ask this. This is what I'm gonna ask. Okay, let's do this. And some of them you already have the solutions, but then just want to hear how you wrote your book in terms of everything that's in here, right? So one interesting, actually, let me start. I think it's in order. We'll try and put it in order. So there's a part where you're writing about procrastination. You're writing about procrastination is a form of fear. Now this is under fear. Everybody goes through fear, right? Which is sad,
it is,
because we're not given the spirit of fear. But the procrastinator is scared to get up and put in the work because they believe that the effort might be in vain. Right? That's what procrastination means. That's why procrastination is the fear. So my question was, does this mean does it mean effort never go in vain? Effort, does it ever go in vain? Because when you write, because they believe their efforts might be in vain. Does it ever go in vain?
No, I don't think it does, but people, you know, like, people that value their time, right? I can give you an example. When I started, I used to have websites. I think I wrote in the book. When I started the website, the idea was, I'll get traffic, and I get traffic through Google, and I have to write articles. So people go to my website, and the more traffic I have, people can check out my stuff, then go to Amazon to buy. But because it took so much to put the website together, right? It took me like maybe a year to get the website going. Right, because I had to, like, you know, buy the hosting for the website. You know, you have to buy the theme, whatever, right? But every time I'll think about it, I'm like, if I do all this and nobody goes to this website, you know what I mean? Can you imagine? Like, I'm already paid, you know, it's like probably up to $1,000. This is like years ago, up to $1,000, everything to get the website going, right? Like, including writing articles, right? So you feel it over. I think it's more like you just get overwhelmed not to do anything. Does it go like the effort? You said the question is, does the effort go in vain?
Never go in vain. Does it never go in vain? Because people believe the effort might go in vain. Is there a point where somebody would think it will never go in vain?
I think it comes with practice. After you failed many times and you realize that every failure, anything, you move forward, right? You learn something, so you know no matter what you do. So I think, if you're in that mind frame that what I do might help me down the road. So I might fail right now, but what I learned here, I could use it for something else. So it doesn't, a lesson, right? I think, you, like, to answer your question, I don't think effort ever goes in vain.
That's good.
I don't think it.
So people don't give up. That's the point.
Don't
ever give up. That's where it's
every effort.
Okay, so moving along, another part that I love in this book, exposure therapy. Let's talk about exposure therapy. So fear of success is one of the biggest obstacles. You see, I get excited when I see. So fear of success is one of the biggest obstacles people face as they watch their dreams slowly become just that. Hey. So there's a form of therapy that I recommend for facing the fears. It's called exposure therapy. Yeah. Okay, let's talk about exposure therapy. So to you, what made you come up with the term exposure therapy, and what is exposure therapy to you, to the world?
No, exposure therapy, I didn't come up with it. It's something I read about and researched. It's already scientists already use it.
Yeah.
But it's something.
According to division12.org.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I basically I used to like wrestling when I was growing up.
Yeah.
There's a guy, I don't know if you know Jake.
Jake the Snake.
Yeah.
We have the question in there.
Oh, you see?
Don't worry.
You know what? To be honest with you, of all the people who've read this book, she knows the book even more than me. She knows the book. I'm scared.
And you know
because
what's funny?
She knows more than me. This is.
But you know what's
Yeah,
funny?
yeah.
All those points that you're saying are the points that captured me.
Oh, okay, yeah.
They captured me.
Okay,
And
yeah.
we're gonna talk about Jake the Snake, but go on.
Okay, yeah. No, I was
Go
gonna
on.
say this guy, he was scared of snakes, right?
Yeah.
And people didn't know that.
But I wouldn't be paid that much to hold a snake. No.
Yeah,
so
you won't be, right? Yeah, but you know what though? He was exposed to them, you know. He got comfortable, but for him it was a money thing, right? He
Yeah.
said like if you bring a snake to that, people will look at it, like, you know what I mean? Even me up to now, if I watch wrestling and somebody brings a python, I'm like, this guy, you know. Like,
Are you crazy?
Yeah, you're crazy, you know what I mean? But if you know, like, so people for some reason we have, like, you know, even up to now for me, like, I'm sure even you right now, you think about it, you know, you're the Oprah of, you know, the talk, you're the new Oprah, right?
Okay, bigger than Oprah.
Bigger
sorry
than,
about
okay,
that,
yeah. Sorry Oprah, but
Yeah.
she's bigger than you. She will be bigger than you, right?
Okay,
But,
yeah.
you know, the thing is though, there's a part of you
Yeah.
deep down, right?
Yeah.
That says, you know, like, okay, you know, you want it to be real. You know it's gonna be real.
It is, yeah.
But you know, like the success itself, like it's, you know, it's something we work hard for.
Yeah.
But for you, sometimes people play small because they don't wanna. They know the potential.
Yeah.
But they play small, so they stay where they are.
safe zone.
It's safe zone, in the comfort zone,
It's
right?
in there, yes.
Exactly,
The
you know.
comfort zone in there. Okay.
Yeah. But what I'm saying is, I kind of lost my train of thought. But we like the exposure therapy. Basically, how you want me to like say how the scientists say it is?
Yeah.
It's saying like, you know, you expose, like, people get exposed to what they fear, right? Like I think for people, some people here have fear of snakes, and you know, and like we're just talking about Jake the Snake Roberts. You just get exposed to what you fear in a controlled atmosphere. So slowly they kind of make sure you make like you comfortable enough to realize this is not so scary. You know what I mean? Until you get to a point where you realize that fear is all in your mind. You know, like there's a quote that
Power of the mind.
like it's unbelievable, the power of the mind, right? Like I'm you know, like it's totally unbelievable. I've been reading about it. Like my next book is gonna be called The War Within.
Wow.
And all about the mind, you know. So like because that's how powerful the mind is. I've seen everything, you know, what we talk about. It's
I
just
look
in,
forward to
yeah,
that.
thanks,
I look
yeah,
forward to that.
yeah.
Oh
But
my
the
gosh.
book, so the idea is I'm gonna have challenge myself to a marathon, something I've never done, something that's complete, you know, and do it and prepare myself and then document it for the next book. Like, okay, this is the challenges, this is what I was thinking, this is, you know, this is how I overcame, this is how I failed. So that's the whole idea for the next book. Yeah.
The next #1 bestseller
Thanks,
in
yeah.
the world, not
Thanks,
New York.
yeah.
I didn't
Not-
say just New York,
Yeah,
in the world.
Oh, thanks, yeah.
Excuse me.
Thanks, yeah. You know exactly. Yeah, you know, like
Oh my
just
God.
like I know it.
All right, so moving along, your personal story, one of your personal stories in the book,
Yeah.
right? This is one of the personal stories that I picked up.
Yeah.
So most of your childhood, you say, most of my childhood, I consider, this was interesting when I was reading it, I was like, Okay, so most of my childhood, I considered myself a shy person.
Yeah.
I also thought I was introverted. It was always a struggle for me to stand in front of the audience.
Yeah.
Let's see what. All right, so the key word here was but. And then, okay, let me just read the whole passage to make sense for the viewers, right? So I always found that the attention from the crowd had a way of making me forget what I was about to present, right? Because you're a shy person. So just the sheer thought that everyone was waiting to hear what I was about to say was enough to make you panic.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
once I got to college, I pushed myself to enroll in a class that was called Speaking with Confidence. In the beginning, I was nervous as hell. Our professor at the time split up our class into smaller groups, which helped me feel a bit more settled and comfortable. It also dawned on me that no one could tell that I was nervous, which is always normally the case, because I am also normally nervous, and people are like, no, you look.
Exactly.
Right?
That's
but
the thing. It's in your mind.
So every time I asked my group mates for feedback, they told me they thought I was awesome and they never noticed uneasiness. By the end of the course, I was so confident I would make my former self envious. So when I was reading this part, I was like, that's what happens with all of us because of the power of the mind, right? So with you personally, as a personal story, the key word here was thought. When you said, I thought I was introverted, what made you think you're introverted? And now do you think you're extroverted, or where do you stand?
No, I think I'm, for example, I can put it this way. I live alone, right?
Okay.
I'm comfortable. I can come home, watch my Netflix, work on my stuff, whatever. I'm happy in my own space. But when I meet people, I'm not going to be in a corner there quiet. I go there, talk to everybody, bring the energy. So I have it, extrovert, introvert, I have it all. Okay. But before, I try to put myself in a box and say, I'm a quiet person, I'm shy, blah, blah, It's a story that I told myself. Yeah, exactly. It's a story, right? Yeah.
Now over to what we were talking about earlier on about Jake the Snake, guys. Now we're on that part. Okay, because I used to love Jake the Snake, just
yeah. Oh yeah, he was cool.
He was my favorite.
Yeah.
So here it says he was the guy who was. Okay, a great example. I don't know if I want to go back here. Faking it into realness and visualizing, right, is the topic of this chapter. So it goes on to talk about how in our minds we tell ourselves that we can do something, and then you give an example, like for those who follow WWE, the wrestling in the 1980s and 90s would be Jack the Snake Roberts, right? He was the guy who always brought a snake, mostly pythons. Yes, guys, and that's the only part I didn't like about him. Yeah. He was hot. So wrapped around his neck. WrestlingNews.com quoted him as saying, "I was terrified of snakes." Man, that's what he said, I guess. So it just goes on to show me how far I'll go if you pay me enough. So are you saying more than just snakes? What else is more terrifying out there other than snakes that you would actually go for just for the money? I know the mind is powerful, really, but as powerful as it is, to be honest, I wouldn't get to this extent.
Yeah.
For money, I wouldn't.
Yeah.
But what if the snake ends up choking you? Like, is it still our mind, or that's reality? Really?
Yeah, but I think with him too, right? Is how the word intrigue? He's kind of intrigued by it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, as much as he was scared of the snakes, he knew what it had on people, like what people have in their minds when they see a snake, right? This guy, like, really, is he crazy? Or and also he's thinking to himself, am I crazy? Like, I can, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's things that we do, like doing something you think you possibly couldn't do. You know what I mean? I think he had an excitement doing, like, going in there as well. It's not like it was just money. You know what I mean? I think the money element, yes, it was good because it was a good idea, whoever presented it to him. But I also think he was intrigued by the idea of, you know what I mean? That's why some people, they go to a zoo and they're trying to see if they can interact with the lion, and that's, you know what I mean? But with him, I don't know if I would do that for money, like you said.
That's exactly my point. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But do you think now it's just still the mind that's stopping us from doing that?
Yeah, I think it's a mind. Like I was really, there's this guy that I listen to, right, called Wim Hof. You know Wim Hof?
No, I don't know.
He's a 63 or 65-year-old guy. He's broken world records, Guinness records. He immerses himself in cold water, all this kind of thing. He's actually been able to be put in freezing water and being able to, like, usually your temperature goes down, but with his mind being able to elevate the temperature just by thought alone. You know what I mean?
Anyway, this book has a ton of questions and we're running out of time. But I would urge people to read more of The Underdog. It's a really interesting book. You've already seen the bits and bobs there. There's a lot to talk about. In this tiny book, there's a ton to talk about, right? But then before I close this book and just finish off today's episode, I had just one question. This one I'm not going to skip it. I am sorry. So, in terms of, I think this is round 9. We're talking about dealing with exhaustion. Because it gets to a time where you feel, I am tired. I don't know if what I'm doing is going in vain or that's it. You know what I mean? I'm tired.
Yeah, I can.
Right, can I let it go? And I was glad when I saw this. I was like, wow, dealing with the exhaustion. We're gonna have to talk about this. So if you feel deep into if you're deep into pursuing your worthy goals, that's what you say, right? If you're deep into pursuing your worthy goals, you might find yourself tired and exhausted, right? You might think that you have already given it your all, but you're still nowhere near reaching your goal, right? So how then do you overcome dealing with the exhaustion if you're thinking, okay, fine, you're already feeling that way, right? So how do you deal with that if you still want to get back into track and say, you know what, I'm still gonna go with this?
Yeah, I think for example, you're on purpose, right? Like you found your purpose.
But you get tired too on purpose too.
Yes, you do. You do get tired on purpose. But for me, I would say personally how I deal with this, for example, like this thing where you can like focus and you do take breaks. Like do you do like half an hour? Like when you do, how do you just go long stretches of working? I'm a long stretcher. Yeah, you just want to get things done. You see, before it was easy for me because I was cheating, drinking coffee, right? You know, it used to be easy, right? Yeah. Any exhaustion, go to Tim Hortons, you're not gonna get a triple, boom, boom. And then now, but I felt like it wasn't authentic. Like,
but with this whole coffee thing is another part of the mind too, though. Because I've tried coffee once, but I was like, okay.
No, actually, like I would say, for example, if I drink Starbucks coffee, like I can literally feel my veins, blood, like, I can feel it. You know what I mean? Like I can feel that this is overwhelming me. So I don't think the mind plays a part, because what you're saying, I've had that debate with people. They say it's just your mind. Coffee doesn't do anything to me. Okay. But for
some people say it makes me sleep.
Yeah, some people, yes. I think the body's, different chemical like balances or whatever in our bodies makes it like do different things to us. But for me, I think it all comes to if I do drink coffee, I do it's one thing. Like I didn't drink coffee back home, it was tea. But when I tried it, right away I felt like alive, awake. That's why I got addicted for so many years, But I think dealing with the exhaustion, like for me, there's the thing, like taking a cold shower helps me as well. Like I feel relaxed, rejuvenated, and obviously I talk about you don't have to. They recommend 8 hours sleep, whatever. But for me, I can function on 6 hours, and that's what I focus on. And everything is debatable, right?
Function on power naps.
Yeah, you do that.
Because I work too much.
Yeah, you work too much, right? But the thing is exhaustion too. Like I find that you can draw in the mind. You know what I mean? You can think, be thoughtful about it. Say I'm exhausted, but there's this thing that's important to me that I need to accomplish, or this and that, and bring yourself to life. You know what I mean? Saying because sometimes exhaustion is also, like when I do push-ups, I wrote about how I was trying to do push-ups, right? Exercise. Even up to now, I haven't done push-ups maybe in a few months now. It's a struggle for me now to do 20 again. It's always like that. But every time I do, last week I did 14, right? Trying to go back to and I always tell myself, I'm tired. I wrote about it in the book, I'm tired, and then I tell myself maybe I should go for one more, but my body you know what? Your hands are like jelly now, the kind of, so it's some of it has to do a lot with the mind, If you give yourself, I think, proper rest, so the exhaustion you can deal with, depending on what you really prioritize in life, because some people can say I'm tired, I can't work, and somebody say, hey, there's a party tonight, this starts at 1 o'clock. All of a sudden, no! All of a sudden,
you're rejuvenated.
Exactly, you know what I mean? Yeah. So it's a mind game, Why all of a sudden do you have the energy? You're exhausted 2 minutes ago. Right. So, sometimes the mind doesn't want us to do the real work, you know what I mean? you know.
Oh my gosh, that is so amazing. That is so fun. Oh my gosh. Anyway, so we're about to finish, and this was so interesting. Thank you so much for for explaining what's in your book already, for getting into the book with us. And I would urge everybody to get yourself this book. Where can we find it? On Amazon, right?
Yeah, on Amazon right now. Okay. Yeah, I think down the road I might just, once I have my website, I'll just try to sell it on my website and sell it on my own. Okay. But for now, we split profits with Amazon, and it's not even about money. For me, if one person reads it and they get something, they're touched, my job is done.
That's it. Okay. So with all this being said, being an accountant, having kids, having to write the book, so what challenges have you faced being a father, being a writer, being a poet, and just getting into this industry, and then balancing with the kids too?
Yeah, for me the challenge is I don't think I've had it because of work, had enough time to market the book the way I want it. Okay. I want to do it. I feel like there's more that I need to do. Like I'm taking a course right now on Amazon marketing, AMS, called Amazon Marketing Services. Okay. This guy has a free course on how you can do it and how to optimize it. But you know, all these things really, like I noticed that the more you spend the money, then the more you get something back.
That's true.
You know what I mean? But the challenge is being a father, because I see my kids every other weekend. But when I see them, every second counts. We optimize. But even this morning, we played some, darts. Like we will go hard at it. Like if they won't even let me, they tell me, "Daddy, put your phone away. Don't touch it." I'm allowed. I'm not allowed. Yeah. I touch my phone, my daughter, she gets really mad.
That's good.
Put your phone away. So it's really, so it's them. They say this is our time, we'll focus. Yeah. That's a challenge. But because I don't see them every day, you appreciate the little things.
The little time that you have.
The time that you have. Wow. It's like anything in life, right? People think we're here for, you know what I mean? Like I've been in Canada almost 20 years. It feels like 5. Time just goes by. You don't see TikTok every day, right? So people think they have time to accomplish their goals. I'm almost 40. I'm 38. And there's a lot that I need to do. That's why, like I was saying, I'm trying to get into the trades so I can have maybe work 6 months, and the other 6 months I focus on. I want to go do speeches in Africa. There's so many things, because I found my purpose. I know I have to do this before I die, and the book was the first thing. So I'm grateful. Like if I were to drop dead right now, I feel like part of what I needed to do, which was writing a book, I've done it. I think I've accomplished part of, like, in my belief, what God sent me here to do. But for me to be able to write books, and I have to go through these challenges. That's why when we go through stuff, some people want to run away from it. There's a guy, he's a writer, he wrote a book called The Monk Who Sold His Ferrari.
I read that one, yes, The Monk Who Sold His Ferrari. Oh my God, that was one of my first books actually when I started reading.
Yeah, exactly, right? And then he has a quote, he says, I heard him on a podcast a couple of weeks ago. He said, people always trying to run away from pain, from suffering. But I love the suffering because I grow from it. It makes me stronger, I really learn a lot. I want to stay in the suffering as long as I can. Yeah. And I never had somebody say that before. Yeah. Everybody's trying to run away from it.
Wasn't he a lawyer?
Yeah, he was a lawyer.
He was a lawyer, and he had to let go of everything.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
He was like, whoa, who does that?
Yeah, who does that?
And then he ended up going to a separate place, and I was like, wow.
That's the thing. Like the life is so. That's the thing. For me, everything I've gone through in my life up to now, I'm not perfect by any stretch, but I'm trying to be a better human being, impact people one person at a time, and correct my mistakes. And at the end of the day, like I feel grateful to be alive. Every day, I like, people say gratitude, whatever. It's not a joke. Like I get up in the morning, I'm thankful. I have food on my table. I have a roof over my head. I have my kids that love me. I have people that care about me. I'm thankful. I'm alive. People think, and that makes a big difference when it comes to the challenges I'm gonna face during the day. Yeah, in the future, any part of the day or next week or whatever, something comes back to you. You realize that you have things going for you. It's not gonna be perfect, obviously. Right. Once when I was young, my dad told me life is like a wheel, right?
What goes around comes around.
Exactly. One time you're here, that's why when I see people laughing at someone who's down, I look at them, I'm like, have we figured life yet? Because you don't really know life. Because you're laughing right now.
Life is
exactly, right? You better be careful because he's laughing. Exactly.
Because look at him, right? Life just went around because of
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly.
That is so true. Oh my gosh. So just to end it was so lovely to have you on this episode today. There's a lot to talk about the book, about life in general, about the power of the mind, just about everything, success, fear, everything, right? But then, unfortunately, we're gonna have to end.
Yeah, I have one more thing to add though.
Well, I have one more question.
Okay.
That's where I'm going. Maybe it's the same thing.
Yeah, okay.
So, any word of encouragement to anybody living in fear of pursuing what they want, or for what they may feel is their purpose?
The word of encouragement. Think about it this way. There's a quote that I heard by this guy Les Brown. He heard from someone else in the book, right? That there's a lot of people. They say like the cemetery is full of people with. Dreams that unfulfilled. You know what I mean? Yeah, exactly, right? Think about it. If you're an old person, you're 90 years old in your rocking chair, have it in your book, right? And you look back in your life, right? Like things you could have done, right? And things you thought about, Because think about it, there's a few years ago, it's never too late. Everything changes, right? Like somebody thought about Uber. I can do this. Now they're taking the taxi industry out of business. Could have been you who thought that. That's not really, it's genius, but it's already, the industry is already there. All you have to do is harness technology. You don't even have to do it, hire people to do it. But people are always afraid. They think everything has been done. Yes, most things, the wheel has been invented. We know that. But there's the things that you want to do in life. I think there's a book that was written by a lady who was a nurse caring for people who were dying. And some of the biggest regrets was people not showing their loved ones love or like pursuing their dreams. Is one of the big things where people felt like they let their life go to waste. And it's unfortunate these were people having a month or a year to live. And this lady, she was talking to them and she was documenting everything. Actually, it's a book that I want to read about. And so it's important for people to realize that, you think you have time, but you don't. Like last year, I was, celebrating writing my book. Now we're 4 months into 2019, just like that. Boom, January, February, March, April. Before you know it, it's gonna be Happy New Year, new resolutions. Same story until we die. But out of that story of resolutions, maybe 1 or 2% really pursue that. And it's tough. Like for me, for example, I want to get into personal development. I want to radically change my diet. I want to be in the top shape of my life. But it means, maybe not eating oxtail as much as I want to.
Hey!
You know what I mean?
Hey, oxtail, baby!
Yeah, exactly. So it's a certain thing is tough, right? Because sometimes it means, not enjoying the things that I enjoy. But that's what growth is all about. You have to look at things you like for example, coffee. Like I had to quit, and I quit coffee not because it bothered me. I quit because I liked it so much. Do you know what I mean? I had to quit. Like this is not good for me. Not good for my bank account because I'm buying every time. It's not good because I'm so dependent on it. You know what I mean? So I'm at a point like, you know what? Let me drink tea, save my money. My bank will thank me for that. And it's just still like the idea of cold turkey, like just quitting and being able to do the accomplishment. Now, there's once I told people at Tim Hortons I buy tea, but I still say double, and then I tell them steep tea, and one person gave me a coffee. So after I left, I drank that coffee. That's maybe once coffee the whole time. Yeah.
Oh wow, that is so amazing. And thank you so much for coming.
Yeah, thank you for having me. I really appreciate it. Great conversation. I hopefully, I'll be here so many times, and as your audience grows, and we'll be meeting in these different places in the same industry, right? I'm gonna be a poet. You're in this kind of industry.
Yeah.
I'm sure in Edmonton, or maybe next time we'll be in Zimbabwe, States, wherever.
Right.
We'll see you, and
Definitely awesome. And to the viewers, thank you so much for coming. This is the end of the show today. And remember, little girls with dreams become women of vision. Take care and God bless you. Bye.